Okay, so hey guys. So I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different on my channel. I kind of see these types of videos go around a lot. And I thought it would just be a little fun video to do. I wanted to do a little bit of like a makeup graveyard type of video and tell you guys things that are either too old, I don't like, or overflow of excess that I do like. So this is stuff I do like. This is stuff that I can't use anymore or stuff I don't like. And this is also a couple of reject products and basically nostalgic products. So it's kind of a random video, but I figured to call it just a makeup graveyard video because like this stuff I really don't touch anymore. And then this is just excess of ColourPop eyeshadow. So I wanted to share this with you first. That these are just all excess of ColourPop eyeshadows that don't fit in my bathroom. I do make it my business to rotate out these eyeshadows and replace the ones that I have in the bathroom with these ones here. So I'm constantly like rotating these ColourPop eyeshadows to make sure I use them. Like Ibiza, you guys know, is one of my all-time favorite ColourPop eyeshadows, but I probably have to get rid of this because it's pretty dried out. And this is one of the first eyeshadows from ColourPop that I've ever gotten. This was in my first haul with like 5 other eyeshadows, and I think that this is the only one from that original haul that I haven't gotten rid of. And I think this one, which is, I believe this one is So Quiche, yeah. This one I probably have to get rid of as well. So I have to go through most of these and get rid of them. And then this one, which I haven't touched in, oh, this one's Desert. This one, it might be dried out as well, but I thought I still had Smash, but I don't think I have Smash anymore. But these are all gorgeous eyeshadows. You guys know ColourPop is my favorite, all-time favorite formula ever for the lid because they have marvelous pigmentation and they don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere on your lid. They last all day. They're like the only eyeshadows that you don't have to deal with transfer because they're a hybrid eyeshadow. Like this beautiful color called Telepathy. Yes, it is a little bit smashed because it did end up getting smashed one day. I think it was when my mom threw my makeup out. This one got smashed, but it's still beautifully pigmented and I'm still able to use it, so I keep that one. And then I also love Flower Child. This is one of my favorites too. This is like the only product I have that like grew on me because the first time I actually used it, I didn't like it. So this is one of my all-time favorites now though, and I do use this one quite often. This is actually the one I reach for a lot. So I did put it in here for a while, but it probably will end up in my bathroom again. But I did want to use a different green lid shade the next time I wear like a green outfit. So I'm keeping this in here for now. Game Face is pretty old. It's another one of my all-time favorites. As you can see, I have a hardcore love for this one. But this one is one, oh, this is actually Kathleen Lights. Oh, damn. This is the wrong one that's in here. This one remains in my bathroom constantly because this is my all-time favorite ColourPop eyeshadow. It has nothing to do with Kathleen Lights, even though I freaking love her. It's just because this eyeshadow I find is so freaking amazingly gorgeous. It's my all-time favorite lid shade ever for anything. It's just so gorgeous on the eyes. It's like the perfect mix between a bronze and a gold, and it's a little bit darker than Game Face. I mean, a little bit lighter than Game Face, and it's so gorgeous. But that's supposed to be in my bathroom, but I might have to get rid of this one because I still have a backup of this because this is like the only ColourPop eyeshadow that I have a backup of. I did replace a few ColourPop eyeshadows in the past. I have Sequin. I have quite a few other ones that I had reordered. Dare was one of my favorites as well, but this one I need to get rid of. I really tried to use it more, but I really have to get rid of it. It's kind of getting really dried out. I've still never used up a ColourPop eyeshadow in its entirety, but I do hit pan on them quite often. Like this is one of the repurchases, which is Sequin. So it's not like I don't repurchase them, and this one's really gorgeous as well. I really want to wear this again at some point. And then this one is Weenie, another beautiful one from Kathleen Lights. I have both of her quads because I love them. And then this one's Game Face. Okay. I thought Game Face was in the bathroom. Do you see how it looks a little bit dry? So I feel like this one I probably have to get rid of. And then I just have, this one is, I believe, Cricut. I wear this one quite often when I wear purple. So this one's just in here as of now. And then I don't really grab for the matte shades recently. or the satin shades. This one's Cornelius. This one's probably pretty dried out as well. It's another Catherine Lights one. And then there's this one, which is Glow, which is also from the Catherine Lights collection, which I'm sure this one's pretty dried out too. So out of all of these, I probably have to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eyeshadows in here. Wow, I'm going to have to swatch all of these and see which ones are dried out and which ones aren't, because that'll actually really help me not be as overwhelmed. These two are good. I want to hold on to this one because I love it so much, but I'm going to have to go through mostly all of these. And then it's only going to leave 4 in here, and there might be more in my bathroom that I have to go through. So maybe I'll save that for another video. I'll just tell you. I mean, I am going to be doing a declutter soon, but I kind of want to go through all of these tonight and see which ones I need to get rid of. Okay, that makes me feel better. All right, moving on. These are mostly Graveyard products. I mean, there are quite a few Graveyard products in here. You guys know I love this, but I'm just going to go through these and tell you guys. And then there's also, like, excess in here as well. So let's go through the Graveyard products first, and then I'll tell you guys the ones that are not Graveyard products. So the ones that are Graveyard products are basically these guys right here. So let's go through these first. So obviously the first things you guys can see, you guys know how much I despise and hate this brand. These are the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipsticks. Yes, I did jump on the bandwagon once and order these for myself. I'm just going to put them on the floor so I don't have to hold them. You guys know that I did a video on these where I said that I regretted buying them. And I really, like, wouldn't keep these in my room anymore if it wasn't something that I spent my money on. And I actually did go and whip out some of these colors recently, like a month ago, and I wore them to see how the formula was again. I swore to myself that I wasn't going to use his products again because I just can't stand by the brand anymore. I do have an anti-haul coming up for you guys that I'm really excited for you guys to see. But honestly, I just don't know, like, what else I can say about the brand. You guys know my feelings about him. He said he was going to stop the drama a week ago, and now he's back with a drama with Jaclyn Hill's Morphe palette and with Kylie Cosmetics, I believe, or Jaclyn Hill and Too Faced. He made a comment on Too Faced's Instagram saying, making a comment about their holiday palette saying, oh, don't worry, if you can't get your hands on this one, you have plenty of others like it. And then he said about women that didn't like Jaclyn Hill's Morphe palette are shady cunts. And at first, I was like, oh, come on, people are taking it too personally. But then I really realized, since the people that were doing the review were all women, he basically is calling women cunts. And that just makes me more and more turned off by him every time. Like, every day I see him comment. And I just don't understand why Jaclyn Hill hasn't said anything. I still love Jaclyn Hill. But the fact that she can still support Jeffree Star, but she couldn't support Lime Crime anymore, and everybody was like on Lime Crime's ass, but Jeffree Star can call Jackie Aina a rat, even though I'm not really a fan of Jackie Aina. I haven't seen her, like, make racist comments ever to anybody. And even though I'm not subscribed to her channel, nobody's deserves to be treated that way or talked to that way. And then he decides to make an apology video like a couple days after that, and then he says, I'm gonna be free of the drama and I'm not gonna start drama anymore. And then he fucking starts drama a couple of days later. Just because you're not making racist comments doesn't mean you're being a sexist asshole calling women cunts. So yeah, I just can't get on board with his brand anymore. So I unsubscribed from Manny, I unsubscribed from Tati, and I unsubscribed from James Charles, and I unsubscribed from Laura Lee. I don't support any of their channels anymore. I only watch Jaclyn Hill because I just like that she's not up his ass all the time. And I still think that she has a good heart and she's not always like promoting the shit out of Morphe all the time. She is, but like I just feel like she's in her own lane and she doesn't really like want to promote that on her channel, but at the same time she's still using his products. So I just don't really understand that. I think that she stays friends with him because of Manny, because she's friends with Manny. I think that's the only reason why she still uses his products. Because I feel like because Manny still uses them. And then Jeffree does defend Jaclyn and support her. But at the same time, he supports her in the wrong way. And then Jaclyn doesn't say anything about it. And I just think it's weird. So, yeah. The 4 shades I have, this one is, so these are the shades. This one's I'm Nude, Androgyny, Celebrity Skin, and Doll Parts. The only 2 I really do like is Doll Parts and Androgyny. Doll Parts is actually a gorgeous lipstick, but I just can't get on board with him again. I spent my money on them, but every time I hold these and talk about them, I feel cringy. I feel like I want to cringe and just throw them out, but I can't because I spent my money on them. So anyway, let's move on. There's not really anything else here that, like, you know what? Let's talk about this because this is the only other brand I truly hate. So obviously I invested in Morphe once in my life, and I did purchase the coveted Morphe 35O palette, and it says 35O on the back. This was the most sought after palette of 2016 or 15. Maybe it was 2015. I feel like I've had this for like a year and a half already because everybody was going freaking crazy over this palette. And to be honest, guys, I actually really like this palette. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't. I actually want to take it into my bathroom and see if it still swatches good. Like when you look at it, it looks like a really pretty palette. Like these shimmery shades, like these are actually nice. I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, it sucks, because it really doesn't suck. I think that was the same one. Did I just swatch the same one twice? I think I did. Let me swatch this gold one. But it does feel pretty dry right now since I haven't used it in quite a while, so they're not really going to swatch that well. But when I actually did use this palette, it was a decent palette. I just can't get behind the brand because of all the private labeling and the fact that they're now threatening my YouTube friend Stephanie Nicole. You guys obviously know who she is. A lot more people know who she is than who I am. But she has mentioned my channel in the past. But they threatened her to take her video down of her talking about the 35O and other eyeshadow palettes and saying that they're a privately labeled company. And it's really hard to support some of these YouTubers still, except for Stephanie Nicole, because all of these other YouTubers promote the shit out of Morphe. But I like their personalities and I like their tutorials. Like, I love Young, Wild, and Polished. I freaking love Young, Wild, and Polished. She is so funny. But she promotes the shit out of Morphe. She loves Morphe and how much they appreciate her and all of their shit. But I just feel like, you know, these are pretty dry now, actually. They don't feel that great when I stick my fingers in. And it's just the fact that Manny says, oh, if you can't use Jaclyn Hill's eye palette, you don't know how to do makeup. And then he said it in another Get Ready With Me, saying, if you can't use Morphe, you don't know how to do makeup. And honestly, I was still subscribed to him when he was friends with Jeffree Star. I actually didn't, the last straw for me was when he said that about Morphe. That he said that to his viewers, that if you don't know how to use Morphe, you don't know how to do makeup. I was like, that is the last straw. And then it's like, how is it that Jaclyn can't say anything about this stuff? Like, all the YouTubers stay silent about this stuff. Because I know they don't want to get involved in the drama. But it's like, you don't know, like, who, loves Morphine, who, like, actually just is promoting it because they're getting a fucking paycheck. So, yeah. Anyway, I just refuse to use this still. Yes, it was an investment, but honestly, this was a fraction of what those costed. This only costed me like $25, and those cost me like, together, those costed me $80, and this only cost me 25 bucks. So this is not a huge heartbreak for me to not use anymore, but I will never support the brand ever again. I don't like them. I was almost inclined on buying the Jaclyn Hill palette, you guys. I really was, but no. Just no. I'm just not going to get it because I saw negative reviews, and also I just will never support their brand again. If Jaclyn decides to come out with a collaboration with a different brand, I will gladly purchase it, but I just can't wait for her to come out with her own makeup line. And I was really hoping that she would still come out with her collaboration with Makeup Geek, but I guess that's never happening. So she decided to collaborate with Manny MUA and Kathleen Lights instead. So anyway, now let's move on to Urban Decay. So I keep this in here because, one, it's kind of a pain in the ass to store in the bathroom. This is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani eyeshadow palette, and you guys know this was limited edition. This is kind of itchy on my hand right now. So I'll open it up and show you guys what it looks like. It has gorgeous packaging. Love the packaging. And then this is what the... Oh, this is hard to open. This is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. So the colors are really, really pretty in this palette. It's just the fact that the eyeshadows in here are not anything that Urban Decay is known for. It's just not a standalone good formula for this to be the only palette that you could own from Urban Decay. Like, if somebody had never bought Urban Decay before and they decided to invest in this palette because they were like, hey, it has beautiful neutral colors and it has a few pops of color, it's all I need, because some people just use one eyeshadow palette. Like, I used to be like that, and I used to just use the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and that was the first eyeshadow palette that I ever got from Urban Decay, and my first neutral palette ever, and I loved that palette. But this, if somebody is like a huge fan of Gwen Stefani and be like, hey, I really want to try out Urban Decay and I really want to try out her eyeshadow palette, I feel like they're going to have a bad impression of Urban Decay. And I don't want to say that because when I first started using this palette, I liked it. I actually really like the crease colors, and I like probably only one of the lid shades. Like, most of the lid shades in here are dry and just not the formula you expect from Urban Decay. Even swatching it right now, I can tell that these shades are not as buttery. Like, look, they are very pigmented. Like, the mattes are nice. Like, you can see that the mattes are nice, right? But I just don't find that consistency throughout the whole palette. Like, again, they swatch really nicely, but when you apply these to your lid, they're really hard to get any pigmentation. And you have to work really hard to actually get pigmentation out of them. Like, again, they're pretty, but they're just... And it is really pretty to create a natural eye look out of, but it's like, why do I need like such a full row of neutrals in here? Yes, people do grab for neutrals a lot more, but I have so many other palettes that I prefer over this one. Like, this was not an essential for my collection. This is more of like a collectible item. And I probably won't use it again because I might test it out again in the way future. But it's like my Too Faced Christmas palette. That's a collectible item. I just really got this for the packaging and the collecting purposes. And I don't do that often. And I have used this palette a ton. Like, I got a lot of use out of this when I first got it. But it just didn't do it for me for the formula. So that's that. And then the other one is the Tarte Showstopper Clay Palette. Now, what's funny is that I put this in my top 5 favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. When I, like, this was like my first Tarte palette. Because I only have 2 Tarte palettes. I only have this one, and I have the In Bloom palette. The Tartelette In Bloom palette, which I am obsessed with. I love that palette. But this palette just it's good. It's really good, but it's very limited in the looks that you can do. It was more meant for a travel kind of palette, which I do think this would be a really good palette to travel with. But for me, I just don't need a palette like this. Like, I need more versatility when I travel or go anywhere, because that's how I am. I will get bored with just bringing one eyeshadow palette with me, and it doesn't have enough essential colors in here for this to be my one-stop palette for travel. Like, the highlight is gorgeous. I love this highlighter. This highlighter is called Champagne Pink. It's their highlighter formula in this. Like, look at that. It's gorgeous. In this and in their Rainforest of the Sea palettes are amazing. Like, so pretty. So pretty. I know that's not like the best lighting, but I like swatched some of these and they're pretty. But I haven't used this in such a long time because it's like, again, I have so many eyeshadow palettes. I mean, look, it does swatch really beautifully, but I'm just like not inspired every time I use this palette. It's just something that I don't really reach for at all anymore, and that's why it's in here. I used to use it a lot. I'm not saying that I didn't, and like I said, it was one of my all-time favorites. And the blush is really good too because it's the Tarte blush formula. Obviously, they're amazing, but I don't reach for my Tarte blushes that much. I use their foundation, their concealer, their In Bloom palette, their lipsticks, just a lot more than I do this eyeshadow palette and their blushes, because for some reason I don't use their blushes that much. And this is the Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and I'm just going to touch on that in this too because this is literally the exact same thing. This came in a Ipsy bag. Let me open it because I can't do any of this stuff left-handed. This is the Park Avenue Princess bronzer as well. I think they're both Park Avenue Princess, I'm pretty sure. This says, yeah. So I literally owned this, and then I also had a contour bronzer highlight trio thing that I actually got rid of like 2 years ago because, or like a year and a half ago, because I just didn't use it anymore. Or actually maybe I still, no, I don't still have that. I definitely got rid of it. I feel like there's like gonna be eyeshadow on my phone now because I'm like swatching shit and I'm still like sitting here talking to you guys. But yeah, I don't use this anymore because I wasn't really that crazy about the bronzer until I like started using bronzer more. But this was really cute to come in the Ipsy bag, but I just took it out of my bathroom because I had no room. But you know what? I might actually put this back in my bathroom and start using it again and see how I feel about it. So I'm actually going to set this aside and I might put that back in the bathroom because I'm kind of looking for another everyday bronzer anyway. And I kind of want to test it out and see how I feel about it. But I don't need to bring this entire eyeshadow palette in the bathroom just for something that I'm not even really going to use anymore. I mean, I love the packaging and stuff, but again, the last time I used this, I didn't really love the look that I did, and I wasn't really that wowed by the eyeshadow palette, so by the colors. So that's that, and it's not one of my all-time favorite palettes anymore by far. I definitely have replacements for that. And then I have these 3 Disney e.l.f. palettes from the drugstore. And this was when I was obsessed with finding these at the drugstore. This one I got a ton of use out of. This was my favorite one, and I was like, oh, I didn't know. I had no idea that they had this. If you guys didn't know, Sleeping Beauty is my all-time favorite Disney princess. I'm going to open it for you guys. And this is a good versus evil palette. So it has a good side and a bad side, meaning it has Aurora side and it has Maleficent side. And I used this a lot, and I really loved this eyeshadow palette. Like, this was the only eyeshadow palette I would use besides the Naked 3 and the Electric palette from Urban Decay. Like, look how pretty these colors are. And they were actually really good quality, too. I was really surprised. Like now they're going to be dried out. Like, this feels dry as hell. But when I did use it, I got a lot of really pretty looks out of it. But I can tell that it's pretty dry. Yeah. I need to grab a tissue real quick. I should have one up here. in my bag. Is this a tissue? That one has... Okay. Well, these are all like full of lipstick, but whatever. So yeah, it has like these really pretty day colors, and it has these night colors, and then it has the, this thing is so annoying, with the lip glosses. And I used to use the lip glosses a lot too, and now I have 10 gajillion lipsticks. But this is when I thought that I only needed like one eyeshadow palette for everything, which was this, because I was like, oh, I have everything in here. I have all my colors and all my daytime shades that I need, and I really need to go back to that, but I just have way too much to use now. But this was a pretty decent palette. I really liked it, and I used to use it like every day, so I don't regret buying this at all. I just don't use it anymore because it's pretty dried out, but I will never get rid of it because it's a collector's item. So it says, you've got your own style. I just think it was adorable, so I got that one. Then I got the e.l.f. Jasmine palette. This one's A Whole New World. The other one was Let the Drama Begin. This is the e.l.f. Jasmine palette. So this one has all of the Aladdin themed colors in here. This one came with 7 eyeshadows. Like Jasmine, Genie, Aladdin. I love Aladdin. Aladdin's my second favorite Disney movie. And then it has a blush and a bronzer, which the other one didn't. It only had eyeshadows and lipsticks. And then a liner and a lipstick. So I really thought they were just really cute because it comes with all this like really cute stuff. I did use this. I stopped using it quite a while ago, but I did get a lot of use out of it. Not half as much use as I got out of the Sleeping Beauty one, but I probably used this one maybe 10-15 times at least, which is not too much, to be honest. And they were pretty eyeshadows again, but they don't really swatch that well, if you can see that. So again, not an essential, but it is a pretty palette, and it is a really beautiful packaging. So, and then the last one is the e.l.f. Elsa palette, and this was the last one I ever got. This one's the Snow and Ice book, and this one has a gorgeous highlighter in it. This one right here, as you can see, I did use that. And then it came with 8 eyeshadows, and it came with 2 eyeliners and a lipstick. So I felt like every single time, you know what, I should take the brushes out of these things and use them. And it says don't conceal, don't hide, which is adorable. And again, it has that really cute insert where it has Elsa in here, and it shows you like how to do the looks, which is adorable. And it had some really beautiful colors in here. I actually really want to swatch this highlighter right now. And I was really obsessed with the highlighter. Like, look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Like, it was really pretty. Again, you're not going to be able to see it. Probably going to swatch really horribly. Let's see if we can get a better swatch if I turn my hand. Just give me a second. I know that's, like, really bad. Nah, not really. But it was really pretty. I really did enjoy this highlighter. As you can see, I did use it from this side. I felt so bad ruining this overlay, but I did enjoy this palette, but I think I used this palette more just for the highlighter. I didn't really get that much use out of the eyeshadows. I probably only used like some of these only a few times, and that was it. But again, they're not like the best quality, but you're not really going to expect that much. Like, as I'm swatching them, I realize how dry they actually were. And this one, I should be able to tell. Oh yeah, that didn't really have any pigmentation. I should be able to tell which ones were good and which ones weren't. That purple shade's kind of nice, but yeah, these aren't something I would run out and buy again. But just for the nostalgia, because it's Disney, just wanted to show you the inside of this one really quick, which is really cute. Really like that. So yeah, that's it for that. That's mostly everything that I have for the Makeup Graveyard products that I just don't use anymore. I do have this ColourPop in Bloom palette. I should get rid of the stuff that's actually in here, but I just love the packaging of this. This is by Jamie Greenberg. I had no idea who she was. I just thought that the packaging was adorable. And I did take the lippy sticks out of here, and I have already decluttered the lippy sticks, but I did get a lot of use out of the lippy sticks in here. But they started to smell a little bit weird, so I got rid of them. And then the blushes, they have not been touched in a long time, but as you can see, I did use the highlighter a lot, but they were really cute and they were really pretty, but I only keep it for the packaging. So let's just talk about these last few products that are just backups or nostalgic. The first one is the only eyeshadow palette that I've ever hit pan on, and this is the Too Faced French and Fabulous palette. This was a limited edition Christmas palette. I think this is one they used to come out with the little palettes during Christmas time, I'm sure. Because my brother got this for me, and I was hardcore obsessed with this palette. I would use it all the time, and this was the first palette that really got me into makeup. Because I never used any other eyeshadow palettes before this. I only used MAC single shadows, and this was the first time I was introduced to Too Faced. And you guys, nothing beats this formula. This formula was flipping amazing. Like, look at that. This formula was sickening. Like, are you serious with that swatching, with those swatches? Look how pretty. Like, seriously, Too Faced? Like, what happened? Like, and look how far I was into the pans of these. Like, can you believe that? I feel like if I started using this more again, I used this for way too long. I should have stopped using it a long time ago. That pink one does not swatch well anymore. But I'm telling you guys, the formula was bomb. Oh, crap. I'm like digging my finger into it. Let's not, I'm going to have eyeshadow all over the place. But yeah, the formula was amazing. I never touched the bronzers because I never thought they would look good. I literally never used these, and they feel like they're so old. Because I was like, oh, there's pink in here. Why would I ever use it? And I was like, I don't know how to use bronzer. But I went hardcore with the eyeshadows, you guys. I used the eyeshadows like they were going out of style. I used to use the Ooh and Ah Black as a eyeliner. I would use these two as my natural eyeshadows, and then I would use these ones as my, like, going out eyeshadows. And I would use this Mess in a Dress shade, like, all the time. I really had a hardcore love affair with this palette. I love it so much, and I will never get rid of it because it's so nostalgic for me. So I can't believe my brother was the one that got it for me. And then, of course, the other one that I cannot part with, but I feel like it's pretty dried out. I can't believe they discontinued this palette. Like, how can Urban Decay discontinue the Urban Decay Electric palette? It's like everybody's baby, you know? It's like discontinuing one of your babies. And they replaced it with the After Dark palette, I'm pretty sure, which I do love as well. But you guys, nothing really beats this palette. And this was my first colorful eyeshadow palette that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Oh my god, I can't open it. And I did drop it once. And I have only recently, like, moved it into my room. Also because I will never ever part with this palette because my boyfriend got this for me. And so he was the one that really got my first two eyeshadow palettes that I used a lot. Because I asked him to get them for me for Christmas one year. And he got me the Urban Decay Electric palette and the Naked 3 palette from Urban Decay. And those were the only two palettes I would use when I first started getting into makeup, because they were my first two high-end palettes. Besides the Too Faced French and Fabulous. So I'm happy that they were both gifts to me. And this palette is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Amazing. But I just keep it in my room because I feel like the eyeshadows are getting a little bit dried out. But I could talk about this palette for a million years. You guys all know how it swatches, so I'm not going to swatch any of them. It's amazing. And then this guy right here is actually a cheek palette. And this is the Benefit Feeling Dandy palette. And this was a palette that my sister got me until me and my sister stopped buying Christmas presents for each other, because now we really don't buy Christmas presents for each other. My sister has not gotten me a Christmas present in like 2 years. So this past year was like the first time I didn't get her one. But this was, I think, the last Christmas present she actually got for me. So this is a couple of years old already. And this is the Perk Me Up Lip and Cheek Kit. And they really come out with these, I think, during the holidays. And this one is all based on Dandelion. Now, as you guys can see, I used the blush quite a lot. And I do have the single one of this. So it's not like I really have to keep this in my bathroom. But I did use it a lot. I used the lip gloss a lot because you guys know I was a lip gloss girl for the longest time. Can you stop digging your hands and everything, Caitlin? I was a lip gloss girl for a really long time, so I used this a lot, but it was very sheer, and then this was a cheek stain, and I did not like this product at all. I thought it was way too pigmented, but I think you could also use it as a lipstick, but I never used this. I only used these 3 steps. They like kind of make it a 3-step kind of thing, where it's like 1, you put the blush on, 2, you put the powder blush on over it, then you do the high beam, which is your highlight, and then you do 4, which is your blush, and then obviously 5 is your lip gloss. So it was a really cute little set, and this high beam I actually really liked a lot, and I would use it a lot. As you guys can tell, I really, really liked it. I have not opened this in quite a while. Damn it. See how it swatches. Oh my god, it smells really chemically. Holy crap. It is really pretty, but it kind of irritated my hand a little bit. But that is really gorgeous. Oh, I can't use that anymore. I can feel that. It irritated me. But I will never get rid of it because it was one of my first introductions to highlighter, which is this guy right here. And I actually really liked the blush as well. It's really cute because it looks exactly like the bigger one. So, and I have the full size of the Dandelion blush, so I don't really need this anymore. But it was really cute. And then the only other things I have in here are just a couple of backups. My IT Cosmetics CC Cream. Don't really have to go into that. My NARS Tinted Moisturizer in Light 01 Finland. I love this stuff. And then my YSL Touche Éclat Oxynoxate Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 18 in the shade B10. B10 Beige, I believe. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations besides Giorgio Armani's Luminous Silk Powder Foundation and the Dior Air Flash. But this is a discontinued foundation from YSL, and I was devastated when they discontinued it. I didn't repurchase it, though, before they discontinued it, because I think I had purchased the Dior foundation during the Vibe sale, and before that I got a different one, I think. But I think I had first purchased this a year and a half ago, during like the first winter sale I ever participated in Sephora. God, that highlighter really irritated my hand. I gotta go wipe that off. But anyway, yeah, I just don't really want to part with it yet because I love this foundation so much. But I just feel like I really can't use it anymore because it doesn't really give me enough coverage. I mean, yes, there is foundation left in there. Maybe I will try and use it again, but I don't know if it's really going to cover my full face. But I love this foundation to death, and I can't believe they discontinued it. But my NARS Tinted Moisturizer, I love wearing this. And the IT Cosmetics CC Cream I use a lot in the summertime when I'm going to be outside for a long time because it has an SPF of 50. And I just keep these in here because they don't fit in the bathroom. So I just keep them in the excess bins that I have in here. And I kind of whip them out when the weather gets warmer. And that's it, you guys. So please like and subscribe. I am leaving links to subscribe buttons and stuff at the end of my videos now. So thank you for watching, and I will start leaving my Snapchat, and Instagram, and Twitter on the description box because I don't need to say that every single time. So thanks, guys. Goodbye, and hope you guys liked this. I hope this wasn't too boring, but I just wanted to talk about these products. I don't know. I thought it was fun. And then up there, you guys know I keep like other palettes that I love, like the Metal Matte palette, the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette, and the Too Faced Christmas palette that I have, the Le Grand Paris or whatever. Okay, that's it. Bye!